Did you know that every word you speak matters? Are your conversations making a difference? With a passion for words and a heart for conversation, Teresa Velardi is a self-professed word nerd, best-selling author, BizCat 360 columnist, and publisher. Children's books as well as fiction and nonfiction books are welcomed at We Be Books Publishing and Book Endeavors, the imprints of her company, Authentic Endeavors Publishing. Whether written or spoken, Teresa strives to encourage and inspire meaningful conversations that make a difference. Here's the host of Conversations That Make a Difference, Teresa Velardi.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Conversations That Make a Difference. I am Teresa Velardi, and we have a bunch of guests today, all children's book authors. But before we get started, let me do some housekeeping. I just want to let you know that Conversations That Make a Difference can be heard every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern with live call-in radio shows the first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. And you can listen live on YouTube, and you can go to Dream Vision 7 Network for the archives, and you can listen online, on your mobile phone, in cars, and on YouTube, of course. And you can also say, Alexa, play Dream Vision 7 Radio, and you'll find me there. Get your apps and learn more about the full schedule by going to Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, dreamvision7radio.com. Okay. I like to start with a prayer, and what I do is the Serenity Prayer. So if you guys would join me, I would greatly appreciate it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I also want to say that it is by God's grace that we are fabulous, blessed, and highly favored, living in our greatness, using our gifts and talents, making a difference in the lives of others with passion and purpose, and all of God's great universe is conspiring in our favor. We gratefully say amen. Okay, everybody can come on in and join me. Let's see your beautiful faces. Hi, Morgan. Good to see you.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes.
I am excited to share all of these books with these beautiful authors, all ladies right now. We have one gentleman, he's going to join us a little bit late. And I don't know, is Stephen going to join you, Morgan?
No, he's doing dinner with the kids.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to start with January Liddell, my little Hawaiian princess over there.
Aloha. So happy to be here.
Aloha. She is in Hawaii. She's a proud University of California, Berkeley alumna. January balances her roles as a devoted wife, mother, author, and finance professional while maintaining an active, health-centric lifestyle. She continuously adapts to industry demands, investing in personal growth and inspiring those around her. And January's mission permeates every aspect of her life, making her an invaluable asset to her agency and her clients. Her book that she just wrote is this little bee, Alina, the super saver. Look how cute she is. Look at that. So January.
Yes, ma'am.
What inspired you to write Alina, the super saver?
So my daughter actually was one of the first ones that inspired me to write this book. Alina is actually her middle name. So yeah. She's the main character here. So it was my daughter, but it was also that I've had this dream to write a book ever since I was a mom. So as a mom, I would read to my little ones, and every 7:30 a.m. when they were 6 months old, reading to them. And it was every single day I read to them. And I thought it would be really nice if I could read my own book to them. But it took a while. So 3 years into the making, I have a 15-year-old, I have an 8-year-old, but 3 years into this pregnant idea of having a baby, I wrote this book. I am a financial professional, and I felt that a lot of us adults, I know for me, I was not taught financial literacy growing up. I was not taught healthy money habits. And it was important for me to share that with the kids, because that's where we should all learn, is when we're children, because we're sponges, right? And that's where we start our mindset. So that's how I started. That's what inspired me, is that I feel like we all should be learning financial literacy at a younger age. Hence, Alina, Super Saver.
Right, I agree. So you want to tell a little bit about this story? This story is so adorable. And you're absolutely right. Children don't learn about financial literacy. Most of the time, parents don't talk to the children about money or about how to save money or anything like that. I remember when my son was little and he asked me for something. I said, well, I don't have the money right now. And he says, well, just take that little card that you put in the machine and the money comes out. You'll get the money. So this is a great way to teach children about money. So you want to tell a little bit about the story?
Sure. So this story is like any other child out there. They go to a store and they want something. I always hear my children say, Mommy, can you buy this for me? Mommy, can you get that for me? And, as parents, for me, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to say no. So there's another way to share instead of saying no, and instead of having the lacking mindset or the scarcity mindset, it's more of, hey, you can have that as long as we have a plan. And so she really wants this playground. She wants this playground, and she's like, oh, I really want this, Mommy. And so Mom says, as long as we have a plan. And so it goes through the story about what are we going to do? And she's like, kind of bummed. She's like, oh, it's so expensive. And then she meets Mr. Buddy Bee. And Mr. Buddy Bee talks about a credit card. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's a credit card. Yes. And so she thinks that's a great idea to get this credit card to buy her a playground. But Mommy says, we can do something better. So that's pretty much the story. And then there's obviously more stuff that goes into it, but that's the gist of the story.
What I love about this too is that the parent and the child have the plan together, and there's ways to track the savings and so forth. And the back of the book has facts, money facts and affirmations for children, so that they can start thinking about what money is and how every penny counts and so forth and so on. So there's a beautiful little section of this book that has some really good things for kids to look at and to use. You have another book coming behind this. You want to give a little sneak peek on that one?
Do. In fact, okay, so this is I guess I'm letting it out of the bag, and I'm letting you know now. I spoke to this woman. Her name is Elise, and she creates these cute little crocheted animals. And so I'm creating, his name is Dynamo. So there's Dynamo. So it's Dynamo Spending Spree. And, just like a lot of us, I know for me, I love shopping, and a lot of us love shopping. And he just says, I'm just going to buy all this stuff because I do have this credit card. So I'm going to just buy. And so it's a learning lesson of when he gets the bill and what is he going to do with this bill.
Yeah.
So that is the next book. So I'm excited to complete that one.
And we're excited to see it when it comes out. It was a great experience working with you, and I'm looking forward to everything else that comes from Alina, the Super Saver. I know there's a bunch of them behind this. So thanks, January.
Teresa, you're a blessing. You're a blessing, and you're amazing at what you do. I'm so glad that God has put you into my life. I just appreciate you as my publisher, and of course my friend, and now my sister. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you, January. Mwah! I love you. Okay, let's go to our ladies who are off continent. Jin, we're gonna go to you next, my dear. This is Jin Yu, and she was born in Taiwan, raised in Brazil, and currently lives in Los Angeles. Her journey defines her diverse identity, and with a passion for telling stories, Jin balances economic acumen and creative passion as a TV and film producer and an author. Now, Jin's book is called Why Am I Here? And this asks a big question, right, Jin? So unmute yourself and let's hear from you. How did you come up with this idea, and what can people take away from this book?
Yeah, so I am a type of person that thinks a lot, and also writing was a very early idea or something that I wanted to do when I grew up, right? And then so one of the things I thought about, I always thought of ask myself was like, why are we here, right? What's the meaning of life and all that stuff. But inspired by one of the Simon Sinek's interview, I started telling myself these little affirmations are now part of the book.
Mhm.
And so especially now, I feel like even though it's packaged to children's book, I feel like it helps out grown-ups as well, children and grown-ups as well.
Mhm.
You know, again, like children's growing up so fast these days, so it's never too early to teach them about positive words, affirmations that can have a good impact on our lives. So
Right,
it's
I agree. And
never too
these,
early.
yeah, and these illustrations, like I'm here to give smiles, right? And then we have a little further down, this is I'm here to give comfort. It really this really not only shows the individual aspect of why we're here, but also interaction with other people. Like, here, how about this? Appreciation, right? So tell me a little bit about how you are using this and something similar, a similar question.
Mhm.
First of all, did you ever ask yourself this question? Did you have a face-to-face in the mirror, come to Jesus moment before you did this? Did you? I have to know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the answers, the possible answers, right? Who knows what the real answer is? We won't know. We don't know.
Right,
But
exactly.
I feel like this is an answer that's like, oh, this makes sense. This and in not in the mirror, but like, when you're driving, especially in LA, you're all driving all the time. You just stop and you're just thinking, and I've in the very dark times, I feel like that was something that kept me going,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
kind of changed my thought process, right? Like if you're just going down, 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 but then I was like, okay, let me ground myself. And I
Mhm.
felt like that helped me go on a different vibe and get out of it. And
Right.
today I want to say that much better than it was
Yeah.
5 years
This,
ago.
yeah, this, I have to tell you, this is something I had one of those, I call them come to Jesus moments where I'm looking at myself in the mirror. And this was many years ago. And I was making a big decision in my life. And this particular day, I was way down and out. And I looked in the mirror, and that's exactly what I said. I didn't even recognize myself because I was so like distraught and so whatever, and that's just not who I am. And I think any of you can say that that's just not who I am. And so I said, who are you and why are you here? And then I asked myself another question: is this all there is? And so that lit a fire under me. And I have to tell you, I love that when you started this conversation, you said this is done for children, but this is also adults too, because as we worked on this and as you
Mhm.
gave me this information and this manuscript, I was like, oh yeah, I'm here to do that. I'm here to do that. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So now you're working on something, you're creating a YouTube channel. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yes, and in the same vein that I feel like this is inspirational for children. I also right now I decided to create a YouTube channel because I love quotes. I love all kinds of quotes. You read a lot. There's always things that stay with you, and we forget that we need to be reminded more than we need to learn new things. So I
Mhm.
feel like this quote channel is to help us to remind me and other people as well, I hope, that certain thing about little things in life that we take for granted and just forget because we're so busy running around
Right. Right.
days. Yeah,
Right.
so it is
Right.
a YouTube channel for quotes, and hopefully It's words, I call it words to live by. And then just things for us to reminder about, universal laws and wisdom and things that we just, again, like we just so busy to notice sometimes. That's it.
So I hope everyone listening will go check out Jin's channel, Words to Live By. And also these books, all of these books are available on Amazon.com. The links to get them are going to be in the description below the video on YouTube. So Jin, thanks for coming on the show today. I'm so glad to have you here. We'll swing
Thank
back.
you for having me and for the wonderful support you give us. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's my great pleasure. And now we're going to go over to Miss Katerina. So we get to be intercontinental tonight. We have Greece in the house. We have Italy in the house. We got a lot of things going on here. So Katerina.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi. Katerina Pappas is also known as Lady Moon. And she was born in Philadelphia and raised in Greece. And her journey in public service started with David A. Clark's School of Law, followed by the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and Yoga from Ithaca, right? And then after many years of collecting life experiences, Katerina is infusing all she has learned into her first true love, which is creative writing and singing.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I experienced a little bit of both of those. And
Oh
her
boy.
book is Flow Bina Flow.
Which I got today in the mail.
Yay.
There it is.
Katerina's book is a little bit different than what the other two ladies have. Katerina's, I'm sorry, January teaches children about money. Jen teaches children and adults about who they are and why they're here. And Katerina's, you want to tell a little bit about your story on who Bina is?
Sure. So Vina is a stream, and the whole story is about Bina figuring out that she is made of water, and her journey from the top of the mountain all the way down to the ocean. And actually, Bina is also a nickname that I have from my family. And to sort of go a little bit, to back up just a little bit, because you were asking what inspired this story. I feel like I wrote this for children and parents as well, because I grew up in a Mediterranean family, and they were loving but a little bit overprotective. And so I feel like there were a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I was scared to do growing up. And I'm in my 40s now. And I still, oh no, I'm fine with it. It's just that I wrote this book after a very hard year. And after somehow water came into my life just as a subject, and studying it and finding out facts about it, and how our bodies are so influenced, because we're made of water. And so it just came to me how it would be interesting to document the different phases of water through Bina's journey down the mountain. So, yeah.
So, and we're not going to give away a lot of this, a lot of the story, but I have to tell you some of the things that are in here. Some of the illustrations, like she encounters an eagle. Look at that eagle. I just am like, she encounters an eagle in her journey from the mountain to the ocean. She also, look, there's the singing part of the story.
Yes, there's little songs scattered throughout that I'm working on as well. And she meets friends going down the mountain, and she meets teachers as well. So Eagle is one of the teachers that she meets,
Right, exactly. So it's really although Bina is water, this is really about transforming and going with the flow of life to become who it is that you are, and just honor
Mhm.
who you are, right? No matter what the transformation, no matter what
Yes.
happened.
Yes. And as she moves forward, she gains more and more confidence, and she knows that this is not the final challenge, because in the beginning, the first challenge feels like there's no way that she can overcome this. And
Mhm.
so it gives I feel both parents and children faith
Mhm.
that you can let go of your child.
Yeah.
Like, they will survive this world if you have faith, and if you know that you are God and you can adjust, and you are flexible in form and spirit, then there's really not that much to fear.
And she has a really good relationship with her grandmother who encourages her to take this journey.
That's
So
right.
there's always going to be somebody in your life. What I got out of this more among many things is that there's always going to be someone in your life to encourage you to
Mm-hmm.
take the journey, regardless of what it is, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Flow Being a Flow by Katerina
Flow, being
Pappas,
a flow.
also known as Lady Moon. And you have a
Yes.
website you're developing, correct? What's the website?
The website is ladymoonsongbooks.com.
Awesome. And your book,
Mm-hmm.
the link to your book is also going to be in the
It's in the back here.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And we have to take a break for a minute. We are a little bit behind schedule, so let's go to break right now. And when we come back, we're going to speak to Kathy and Morgan, and Charles will be joining us, I'm sure. So we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Are you one of the many people who said, "Someday I'll write a book," but don't know how to get started? Many wannabe authors have begun with the same question and are now published by Authentic Endeavors Publishing, a multi-imprint hybrid publishing company. Whether you're writing an autobiography, a memoir, a kingdom book, a children's book, a business book, or an anthology, we have a place for you. Visit www.AuthenticEndeavorsPublishing.com for more information or to set up a 20-minute consultation. Your title of published author is within reach.
Born Able exists to highlight and normalize the humanity, worth, and abilities of infants and children born with complex medical conditions. We write, illustrate, and publish books for these children and have featured over 1,000 children throughout the world. Our videos and posts have been viewed over 100 million times on social media as we strive to showcase these amazingly abled kids and fight relentlessly for equal medical care, regardless of diagnosis. All proceeds from Born Able books go directly to the Born Able Foundation. To nominate a special kid to be featured in a Born Able book, go to www.bornable.org to learn more.
Did you know that every word you speak matters? What you say and how you say it can make or break a relationship or shift the outcome of any situation. Are your conversations making a difference? Faith in God, gratitude, authenticity, and giving are Teresa Velardi's heart. It's in this spirit that she's focused on making a difference in the lives she's blessed to touch. Conversations That Make a Difference is now on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back. Hi, Charles. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Sorry so late.
It's okay. Hang in there. We're going to get to you in just a few minutes.
Okay,
Morgan,
the volume's a little low on my end.
Turn your volume up on your computer, and we're going to mute you for just a second because we're going to talk to, I actually was going to talk to Kathy, but I want to talk to Morgan following the Born Able, the commercial. Morgan, let me give you some background on Morgan. Morgan Kawakami is wife to Stephen and mother to 4 incredible children, Willow, Milo, Rio, and Margot. And this is Miss Margot, right? Morgan has a BA in English education from the university and feels called to help others through her writing. She has launched several endeavors to minister to teenage girls and young mothers. And now with I Have Something Extra, families who have kiddos with Down syndrome. She and her family live in Southeast Texas. And I Have Something Extra is her book. And this is her little girl, Margot. So I'm so glad that you're here, Morgan. Welcome.
So thank you. We actually live in Tennessee,
What did I say? Southeast where?
Texas.
Oh, Tennessee. I'm so sorry. I know that. You're welcome. Somebody else who had a surprise child lives in Texas, right? And Morgan, talk to me about how you decided to write this book, and it's in here as to how you and your family decided to write this book, and how you learned that Margot had Down syndrome. Did you have a clue beforehand that she had the extra chromosome?
Yeah, so
21.
we did not know Margot was going to have Down syndrome. She was a surprise diagnosis at birth, and it was unfortunately a very traumatic experience. And so once we were home and kind of settled and digesting everything and trying to kind of find the joy, I guess, within this new journey that we were going to be on, my husband and I, with all of our kids, we were sitting outside just talking about all the little things about Margot that we loved. And we had not really received like any kind of books that we really liked that we could share with our kids to teach them about what Down syndrome is. And so we just decided we were going to write our own book and do that all on our own. So we did. And I have it right here. So we wrote this little book, and it's for kids and really adults, honestly, to, in a very basic and simple way, teach them about what Down syndrome is in a very positive lens.
Yeah. And Margot is joy embodied. Look at that little face. She is just, I've been on calls with Margot, with Morgan and her husband, Stephen, and Margot has been present, and she is just always smiling and full of joy, except for with this appointment. She wasn't so happy with that appointment, right? But yeah. And I've seen pictures of her recently splashing in the ocean and really having a wonderful time. Charles, can you mute, please? I just want to make sure that we can get a clear recording here. So, so have you had the question went right out of my head. I'm so sorry. Is Margot anxious to like try everything when she's with the other kids, especially?
She, obviously everything with her is pretty delayed. And so, she's almost 14 months old, and she more so looks like she's about 8 or 9 months old. But she just recently has started sitting up. And so that's been really exciting. And we like to call her Happy Feet, because when she gets really excited, her feet start going in circles like this. And she's starting to eat some food. So she's starting to do more things that feel like she's kind of leaving that like little baby phase and kind of turning into a little bit of like, toddler, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So,
she's so
she
adorable. And I love that the kids.
always ask, is she always happy like this? And I just say, yes. I mean, she to this day is still just always happy. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I love how she is depicted in here. And I love the interaction with her siblings. She's got two sisters and a brother, right?
Yeah. And, shout outs to Aljon because I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Teresa, but this was his first time illustrating like based off of real people. And we also put a lot of stress on Teresa with our time frame. By the time we decided to start, we were like, oh, we need it done by Down Syndrome Day. So it was pretty tight, but it was a lot of late nights, but
Yeah.
Teresa knows what she's doing, so we got it
Yeah.
done.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh, it was my joy to be able to bring this to life. And yes, Aljon, although Aljon does work with illustrations and bring faces to life on the pages, this one had to be particular. This one
Yeah.
just had to be a certain way. We had to capture her in her very best light and make sure that she was well represented. All of you were well represented in this. And we know about deadlines, don't we, Jen? Yeah, we do our best to make you get your books in time for whatever it is that is coming your way. And Charles is one of those too. We'll talk to him in just a minute. But also down I have something extra is on Amazon.com, and you have a website too. You want to
Yeah.
tell everybody what it is?
It's the margotmission.com. Yeah.
And you're doing a great service to parents who have children with Down syndromes. And even whether it's a surprise or whether you know that they're on their way with this extra chromosome, they bring joy to everyone's life. And she has brought joy to mine in the little bit of experience I've had with her. So thank you for sharing her with the world. Thanks, Mark. I want to call you Margot. Morgan.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Let's go to Kathy Stillwell.
Hello.
Hi. So you've been a pet owner and advocate for over 5 decades, and Polly finds his forever home is her book, and it's the true story based on beloved Polly's adoption on July 8th. 2024. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, that's Brutus.
I was gonna say that's your new Brutus. That's your new dog.
Yeah.
On July 8th, you just adopted Brutus, right? He's a 2-year-old terrier mix. And more information about the book is on her website called seniordogsrock.com. That'll be in the notes, and you can find this on Amazon as well. So Kathy,
And here I have a picture of little Polly with his first pumpkin.
it looks just like him on the cover too.
It looks just like him.
Yes, looks like just like him on the cover. So why write about a senior dog? And is it fiction or nonfiction?
Well, the book is actually true. It is a true story about Polly's adoption. My family and I adopted him at the local shelter back in 2014 when he was 8 years old. Our first dog ever. We never owned a dog a day in our life until that day. So we had no idea what we were getting into. And it turned out after we brought him home, the following day I launched a Facebook community page where I journaled his life with us. And that page went on from 2014 until his passing in 2021. Had over 1,000 followers. It was just a little side thing I wanted to do, and it just exploded into something a lot more. So while he was with us, he and I would do fundraisers to help support the other senior dogs at the shelter.
Mhm.
and special needs dogs. So the funds that we raised went towards a special stipend, and that money went towards the senior dogs to help them get adopted faster. The first fundraiser that we did, they were able to help 34 dogs find their forever homes.
Now, this book that you wrote, a portion of the proceeds goes as a fund, it's partially a fundraiser.
Exactly. A portion of the proceeds will go towards a local shelter to help the senior pets there. So after Polly passed in 2021, I took some time off. I did some blogging, and then I decided in 2023, I came back, and on my bucket list, I wanted to write a book in his honor. So actually, this book is off the very first blog that I wrote about him with his adoption. And it's pretty much how his favorite pastime got him into a lot of trouble, and he ended up down at the shelter. So I'm not going to say what that pastime is, but he takes the young reader through his adoption, through his his ways through the shelter system on how he found his forever home.
Yeah.
Actually,
so I think that this book will actually help people who are thinking about getting a dog, maybe choose to adopt a dog, whether they be a senior dog or I know Brutus is a younger dog. He's 2 years.
He is a younger dog. Yeah.
Okay. And so, and also, what makes your book unique? I know that there's some information in here that you might not find in any other book because of your experience with Polly.
Exactly. I have worked in shelters and rescues for many years. My pet advocacy started when I was 10 years old. So it's been over 50 years.
Wow.
And I've learned a lot down the road, good and bad. And what was happening was during the pandemic, a lot of people were adopting animals because they were home. Well, after the pandemic stopped, the dogs started going back to the shelter. And there's an influx of stray animals coming in on a daily basis.
Right.
So when I was writing this book, I wanted to do something a little different and make it more into a learning tool for the guardian and for the young reader. So in the back of the book, I added 2 pages of suggestions on how to keep your pet safe and to help prevent them from ending up being a stray like Polly was.
Yeah.
And it's been very well received. And I think a lot of people are now getting more into being a pet advocate to help these animals get out of the shelter environment into loving homes.
Yeah. And so before we go to break, tell me what's one thing that you want the young readers and their guardians to take away from this particular book?
As far as getting involved as being a pet advocate, now a lot of shelters, young children like tweens would need to have a guardian with them, but get involved and help the animals, even if you donate clothes or toys or food, events, fundraisers like I've been doing for the last 10 years, anything to help the critters, because the shelter environment is a really rough environment and you get very stressed. And when they get kennel stress, unfortunately, the animals get euthanized because at that point, they're not fit to go to a home. Yeah. So this has been my mission for a very long time.
Well, thank you for bringing Polly to life so we can all enjoy him and your book called Polly Finds His Forever Home.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. And it was a pleasure to be able to help you do this.
I appreciate you taking on this project since I had a rocky start a year ago, and you and Eljon really helped me with this process, and I really greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate you as well. And with that, we're going to go to break, and we'll come back and we'll say goodbye to January and hello to Charles.
Do you have an uplifting personal story to share? The Daily Gift Book series began with a daily gift of gratitude and a daily gift of hope, both available on Amazon. We're looking for people like you to share a story in our continuing series. Kindness, peace, inspiration, and generosity are just a few of the upcoming topics in the Daily Gift Book series. Your stories matter, and they make a difference. Visit www.dailygiftbookseries.com to find out more on how to submit your story for one of the upcoming titles.
With the hustle and bustle of today's world, how often do you practice gratitude? How can you make it a habit? Gratitude is more than putting a smile on your face and being thankful for the roof over your head. It's expanding your perception and finding gratitude for every opportunity and every challenge. Gratitude is a feeling of connection to things higher than yourself, to God, and to others. We focus on light, positivity, and connections. When we join our grateful hearts together, the power of community attracts more people and even more to be grateful for while making a difference. A grateful heart is infectious. Share it. Join our Grateful Hearts community on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/The Grateful Hearts Community and watch your blessings blossom.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
I love that. It actually makes me take a deep breath before I come back to you guys. So, January, I know you have to leave, but I just want to say this. The Daily Gift of Gratitude and the Daily Gift of Hope are on Amazon.com, and we are working collectively on a daily gift of kindness. So I know that each of you has been invited to put an article in those books, and I hope that you will take advantage of that. And we look forward to everything that you have to say about kindness when you submit your story to the next book. So I know you have an appointment January. Is there anything that you want to say before you exit?
I just want to say I had a great time here. Thank you so much for inviting me to be in this space. And I'm excited to read everyone's books. Oh gosh, I'm going to butcher it, but I'm just excited to read everyone's books. And Charles, I'll have to catch up on your book another time. But looking forward to putting an article into Daily Gift of Gratitude.
Yeah, yes.
And that's it. And then just look for my book, Alina, the Super Saver, on Amazon. That's it. Have a great rest of your day. Aloha.
Thank you, January. Aloha. Aloha. Okay. And we will go to Charles. Charles Davis is a U.S. Army veteran. He advocates for veterans and children's welfare. He holds a degree from Keystone College and currently works at works with Veterans Affairs. And in 2023, he launched The Adventures of Leo, the Border Collie from Pennsylvania, a children's book series promoting morals, adventure, fun, and safety. So The Adventures of Leo, the Border Collie from PA, and Leo Goes to New York are available on Amazon. And Charles and I, just completed his third book of the series. And you can unmute yourself now, Charles, because I want you to tell everybody where Leo goes next and what they can expect.
Well, we're going to the land of Bob Newhart, up to Vermont. So we're gonna start banging out the New England states.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me, who is Leo?
Leo is the smartest dog that ever lived. Also the most handsomest that ever lived. He was my border collie. I was adopted by a border collie at one point. We always had dogs when I was growing up, but I never knew the breed. And I got adopted by one night, and the person who owned the dog was like 90 years old, and he couldn't take care of it. So I took it from him, and the dog actually knew that, okay, this is my new owner. So I never had to leash him. I'd just walk. He'd walk with me, friends hand in hand. And then, so when it came time to get a dog for myself, I got Leo, who was a Blue Merle Border Collie. And he knew sign language, and I could just give him silent commands. He was very, very intelligent. I was taken aback at just how intelligent the breed really is.
Yeah, yeah, they are. They're intelligent. So, and you had the first two books before we met, and we added a little bit of things inside this book. Leo is going to go all around the country, and he's going to be taking some bits of information from each of the states that he visits. So tell us a little bit about the Vermont book that's coming out at the end of this month.
Okay, well,
tell a little bit
up
about
in,
Vermont and the story.
well, our adventure, as we said, the prize-winning sheep came up missing off the farm in Gooseboro. So Leo, being a good border collie, has to go find it. And so far, it's taken him all over PA, then upstate New York, and now with Vermont, he's going to learn about, all the little cool things to check out in Vermont, as far as the oldest sugary up there, Morsie, maple sugary. They tap the trees, they make the maple syrup, and they make other candies. So we're going to make a stop by there. And we're also going to make a stop by Crowley Dairy. And we're going to learn what the state animal is, like we do for every book. And of course, it's a continuation of the poem, because the poem started basically in book 1 and it continues all the way through to book 50.
Right, right. So now in Vermont, you've got those two places of business, and these are real places of business, correct?
Right. What I like to do is, when I write a book, I like to do a little bit of local research and try to find points of interest that would be particularly interesting to children. Something that they could actually go see, touch, and it makes the story more real. So it ends up being part geography book, part travel book, part, moral fiber, like old-timey values type stuff.
Yeah. And friends, you've got, he travels with his trusty friend. His name is Gus, and he's a Morgan horse, correct?
Yes. Yes. So the official animal of Vermont is the Morgan horse, which is a special breed of horse. And after including him in the story, I just like the feel and I like the look of a dog riding in the saddle on the back of a big old horse. So I have a feeling that these two are going to be friends for, if not all the series, a majority of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to where is Leo and Gus going after they leave Vermont?
I've already started working on that. Almost got that one done. So we're going to New Hampshire next. We're going to learn about dancing bears, and we're going to learn about a little village that Santa Claus likes to live in. And then from there, we're going to go to Maine. And I've already started researching that one because the fourth one is just about done, just about written.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So be sure your book will be available on Amazon.com. These first two books are available. I have the first two here. They are available on Amazon.com. They've been republished, and Charles and I are working to get the third book. If you want to hold up the cover again, Leo, the Border Collie Goes to Vermont. That'll be on Amazon.com by the end of the month. And for those of you who might be in the area, if you're listening, there is an event at the Gouldsboro train station on the 31st of August. So you can meet Charles there, maybe get your copy of the book. All of the books will be available on that day. Thanks, Charles. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you racing home to get here.
Oh, yeah. And I got to go tend farm now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And be sure to tell everybody to stop by Gooseboro train station, get their picture taken with Leo at his little statue there.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any of you who have anything you want to say before we are going to end in about 7 minutes. So Katerina, anything you want to say before you go to sleep and Grease. And then Jen, anything you want to say about your book, about anything about the experience? What's next? You have something coming up next. I know you do.
I do. Our story. I guess I want to say that I feel like writing it. You also evolve with the story that you're writing, and I just want to thank you because I've never been part of such a creative and rich and collaborative professional relationship before. This truly showed me a new side to myself and gave me a lot of hope that I can do such things. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. And we are looking forward to what comes next. And Bina, the next story is, I'm trying to remember the title of it.
So let's see.
Forgiveness Island. Forgiveness Island.
Forgiveness Island. Yes.
Yep, coming
Yes.
in.
Again, water is another big feature here with the springs that are dying out and what needs to happen in order to avoid that.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Appreciate you. I'm looking forward to what's ahead for each and every one of you. So I can't wait to work on that one with you as well. Jen, any last words you want to say?
No, I just thank you for everything. For we had a deadline. You remember we had a deadline, and we met the deadline. And but yeah, and everything. The support, all Jean, all that he rushed the illustrations and the beautiful illustrations. That was just fun. It was fun. It was a busy and fun experience.
And I know you're working on some other things, and I know that you're going to write a story for Daily Gift of Kindness. So I appreciate that. And I look forward to that too. Katerina, I'll look forward to your story as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. Morgan, any last thoughts you want to share on your experience?
I don't think so. I mean, it was a great experience, and I don't know, if we'll write again or not. Several people have said, "Oh, you need to make Margot's life a series," and so we've thought about it, but obviously, her growing up takes time, so we're not currently working on anything else, but it's been fun, and it certainly brought our family a lot of opportunities with the book. So
Yeah. And I want to say thank you to you because you referred to me, someone very special to me as well. Christine Morkert, she was supposed to join us today, but she's just getting over being ill. So we're going to share her book. Her book is called What If, and this is Bobby the giraffe. And this is a cute little story about how Bobby tries to lengthen his neck to be like the older giraffes. And he gets himself, the situations that come up are just so quirky and funny, and I just love this little book too. So thank you for introducing me to Christine. The two of you
absolutely.
are, and I'm blessed to have you in my book.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What about you, Kathy? What do you want to say?
Well, this was on my bucket list, and it took me 10 years to get there. And my vision made it on paper. And this, I do know I had spoken to my husband about this more in detail. And I think if I were to write any other books, it couldn't compare to this one. So in saying that, because this was very bittersweet project for me to do. I waited 2 years to write it after Paulie died because it was just too much to take on. So I've decided that this is going to be my only book because I can't top this one. So I'm just going to leave it there and just, savor the moment. And every time I read the book, it takes me back to when he was actually adopted. So I've done my job. So I'm good.
Thank you for sharing your heart for the animals and that you rescued Polly, and that in turn it may help somebody else rescue another dog from the shelter.
And we need there are more pet advocates we really need them.
Yeah.
because it's short-staffed. So that would be wonderful if people can get more involved in their lives.
Yes. Thank you so much. Charles, any last words before we close?
No, just thank you for having me on. I like what you do. It's been a great relationship. It needs to be, because we still got 48, 47 more of these to do. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. Sorry about a little late today, but my first priority is always my vets. And just like I always tell everybody, a civilization begins to fail when it fails to protect its women and its children. So it's our job as adults to make sure that we guard and safeguard children from things that really have nothing to do with them.
Right.
So
thank you for what you
that's
do.
it.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service. And on that note, we're going to have to close. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. Thank you for bringing your messages. Thank you for bringing your lessons. Thank you for bringing your hearts to these books. And I am beyond grateful and honored to be the one to help you share them with the world. And on that note, I want to say, make sure you go to Amazon.com and get all the books. Make sure you go to Amazon.com and get all the books. And until next time, I hope that all the conversations that you are having are not only making a difference in your life, but they're making a difference in the lives of the people you touch. So thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again next time. Have a great day, everyone.
Tune in next time for Conversations That Make a Difference with host Teresa Velardi every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network. Thank you for listening, and thank you to our producer Rachel and to our station owner Deborah Beauvais, working behind the scenes. Be sure to go to conversationsthatmakeadifference.com for your free gift. Make sure your conversations make a difference.